Welcome back to another week of Scotch Hour. This is Noah.
This is Jesse.
And this is Brian.
All right, guys. How was your week? Who wants to start this time?
Brian, you start.
I guess that's the norm now. Brian, you always get to start.
Dude,
Alphabetically.
awesome week. Had to make sure I was on time all week long, doing whatever I wanted to do every day, anytime. And
That's got to be tough.
It is tough. It is tough. Tomorrow, in fact, I've got...
I think you're like Gandalf the wizard. You're a wizard's never late. A wizard's always on time.
Never late, never on time. Just whatever I want to do. It's beautiful.
Exactly.
The life of the summer life of a teacher.
Yes.
Wasn't Harry Potter a wizard?
Harry Potter was a wizard.
I remember that fool being late all the time.
Okay. Well, obviously he didn't hang out with Gandalf smoking the weed.
I'm not a wizard. I'm not a wizard. I'm
if
not
you
Gandalf.
slow things down, you'll be on time.
You're Gandalf the Grey.
Okay, so we're
So
definitely not.
gray.
We are not going to be on time
Snap.
if we don't get rolling with what I did.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Rolling.
Rolling. Keep those horses rolling.
No.
Rawhide.
Is that the song you were doing?
That is such a good show, by the way.
What, Blues Brothers?
No, Rawhide.
And I was doing Rolling by Limp Bizkit.
Oh, wow.
All right.
All right. So your week was
my
great.
week was relatively, I suppose, kind of uneventful up until Father's Day. And does this count as our Father's Day Scotch Hour episode?
No.
Not really, but we can, I guess.
Okay, well then I will hold off on all the cool things I did on Father's Day till our Father's Day episode.
Yeah, we're going to have to do a belated Father's Day episode.
Yes, that does make sense.
Okay, so you're going to hold off on the Father's Day stuff then?
Yeah, so I don't know. I
You
don't
can
have.
talk about Father's Day. We just bring it back up.
Well, okay, you know what? I'll start with my early Father's Day gifts. Because I did kind of sneak in and buy myself some Father's Day stuff.
Okay, what'd you get?
With Aaron. Well, as you recall, maybe in the last episode, I talked about mountain biking and how I broke my bike.
Yeah.
Well, as it turns out, in order to get your bike fixed, you're on like a month-long wait.
That's a long time.
That's a long time. Most bike shops are just very backed up. And so I have to learn how to work on my bike myself. So I went and got some new spokes and some new brake bleed fluid and new tires, new tubes, and a new bike stand. So that was pretty fun. And I get a punch in my man card because I was able to, this is something I did do. I changed the oil on my boat.
Nice.
That's kind of a big
man
thing.
card punch.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like whoever like actually changes oil on a boat is going to watch this and be like, dude, it's like removing one bolt and pouring the oil out and pouring new oil back in. But I'd never done it before.
Isn't that kind of the same like in a car though?
I think so.
Like
yeah. I think I could probably
like
do an oil change in my car now. But yeah.
You've never changed your own oil on your car?
Well, I have once with a buddy of mine, but I don't. I just don't. But
All
yeah, I
right,
probably could. So.
I almost always change my own oil.
Well, there you go. Punch in your man card.
Yeah, I use the top end oil and oil filter because I don't trust the fools at car dealerships ever since they forgot to put the
filter on.
No, but that would have been epic too. No, the oil cap on the top of the engine. So I started driving away from the dealership and it sounded all weird. So I went back and there was engine oil all over the engine and the inside of the hood of the car because they failed to put it back on. So when I revved the engine going down Broadway, it shot oil everywhere out the top of the engine.
I too have a story about oil changes where I think this happened on 2 different vehicles of mine. They stripped the
oil pan.
Oil pan.
That's
nut.
common.
And that's you got to replace like the whole thing.
Pan,
it was so expensive, and they were like, "No, the oil leak's coming from somewhere else." I'm like, "No, it's coming from that nut." They're like, "No, it's this," and you can see. And so they charged me an arm and a leg, and they put it back in and stripped the bolt again. And I was really angry. So, yeah. So that was my my week was learning how to change oil in my boat. And turns out I kind of cracked a couple knuckles and got a little scar on my thumb trying to take off the oil filter on my boat, and it was really on there. And I like cranked it and like cracked my knuckles and dropped a few curse words and. Cranked it. He'd abuse and butt it again. So that's my story. So I did a little work on the bike, did a little work on the boat, mowed the lawn twice because it was so long. Yeah, that's me. How about you, Jesse?
Twice. Sounds like you need 3.
He cranked it so long.
Maybe that's 4. How many spots do you have on your man card, by the way?
I got plenty of room. Don't worry.
You never
There's-
trade them in?
No, just every time you do
Gotta,
something
like,
good, just
Punch the
chink.
hole and you fill the hole. You punch the hole and you fill the hole. No?
Just keep punching it.
All right.
Every time I do something manly, that's a punch in the
All
man
right.
card.
Well, my week was work-wise pretty good. Kids, family-wise was great. Both reached out to me, wished me a great Father's Day. I was at work, but they both reached out to me, wished me a great Father's Day, which is very meaningful as a father in any aspect. You know, your kid or anyone wishes you a happy Father's Day. I actually had one person that was off that day call from home and wish me a happy Father's Day at work. And I was like, man, that's
I thought
cool.
we were saving the Father's Day stuff.
Yeah, but
just a little.
Yeah.
Oh, just a little bit.
a
Okay.
little hint of things
Yeah.
to come.
All right. Okay.
it was a
just
big
hint.
piece of the week. I mean, besides work, these were my ups.
Oh,
And
well, hey, those are good ups.
yeah, and then also one great, for me, it's very fun for me to take my son, Aiden, out to get shoes when he's prepping for every basketball season or practice season. And I took him out and got him some new shoes. And that's a big deal to me because comfort, particularly with feet, is everything. Can you imagine trying to be in any sport, lacrosse, football, basketball, and your shoes irritate your feet? How do you focus on the game?
You don't.
Yeah, exactly. So it's always been very important to me to make sure he feels comfortable and has the equipment he needs to have his full potential and success.
Do you ever think about those guys that wore like the Chuck Taylor Converse
Yeah,
and played basketball in those?
yeah.
Those had to be pretty uncomfortable,
Man, back
compared to what they got today.
back
you
in
know?
the 70s.
I think that was
It was
before
the 80s,
70s.
man. It's
Yeah,
60s, it's
before
the 50s. There were some fools still playing. I think there's still some people playing those now.
Yeah, but I think the new Converse are different than
Yeah, a
like
little
those
more
old
padded.
canvas kind.
Yeah.
Truly, I imagine still playing as a superstar they were taken care of. With that, though, also went and visited my parents. Noah came along. Thank you, Noah, and that was great.
Thanks for inviting me. It's been a long time since I seen your parents.
It was fun. He heard some great stories that I wish he'd never heard. And
Noah tends to bring that out at family gatherings. That happens
"Let me
all
tell
too
you how-
often at our house.
Yeah.
as well.
How does that happen though? It's not like I bring it
You
up.
just have this aura about you.
you're like,
Your
tell me your
Gandalf
worst.
wizardry.
I
Yeah.
can't off wizardry.
That's right. Your powers.
That must be
Scarabus.
Scaravis.
And next week on Scotch Hour, Noah, how was your week?
My week was a pretty dull week, unless you just want to talk about work. Just did training for 2 different companies. One of them, I train people to pass the state exam for life insurance and health. That's my normal Monday through Friday gig. And then this weekend, I had my other gig, which is just a Saturday, Sunday, Saturday class. Easy money, though.
In person.
In person, yeah, in person.
Good classroom management.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a game plan going in, and like class size does matter, because and also interaction with the class. If they're quiet, it's like pulling teeth, and if they're interactive, then you just have to make sure they don't take you off the rails and go off into the weeds and get too crazy.
Size does matter.
Size does matter. And it's kind of funny, with different class sizes, there's different energy.
Absolutely.
And when you teach, you do feed off that energy, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah.
And so I do think it was a pretty good week. I don't have any kids. I don't know, I'm not a father, so I didn't get to experience
There
any
he
one or
knows
two things that
of.
you guys got to do. But I did go over to my mom and my stepdad's place, and I did drop off a gift pack of
Glenn Morangi.
Glen Morangi scotch. So that way he gets to try a few new scotches, because I introduced him. His name's Dennis, for those who don't know who my stepdad is, but his name's Dennis, and I did introduce him to the Ardbeg 10, and he really loves that stuff. So I thought this would be a way for him to try a bunch of new ones.
Have you introduced him to the Scotch Hour podcast? Has watched any
He
episodes
knows
yet?
about it, but I don't think he has ever watched it. I do know my mom watches it. She thinks it's funny, but that's because she knows all of us, and she kind of thinks she thinks it's great to be able to peer into our lives and get to know things that we probably wouldn't share with our parents on a normal day-to-day basis, and yet we share it to the whole world on camera.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's about it. That's how my week went, and yeah, I guess I don't have much more to say about that. We do have a new bottle, but this is actually not Scotch Hour this week. It is now. Is it Bourbon Hour or is it?
This is Whiskey Hour.
Kentucky Whiskey Hour. It's Kentucky. It's rye. Rye. It's
Viewer
Kentucky
requested.
Rye. This is viewer requested
By popular request.
So with that, we did say that when we do have someone who puts a request in, that we will include them in the tasting notes. So
maybe not yet though. We should taste it ourselves a little bit.
no, I think he should be a part of
Yeah,
it.
he should start right away. Okay.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and give Ben a call here, and hopefully he'll pick up.
Hello.
Hey Ben, how's it going? This is Noah.
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Not much. How you doing? And I'm sure you can hear Brian and Jesse. Say hi,
Hello,
guys.
this is Jesse.
Hey, Jesse. What's up, bud?
Hey,
Nice to
Ben,
meet
this
you.
is Brian. It's nice to hear your voice and try some whiskey you recommended.
Oh, great. Jesse and Brian. Okay, so here's the thing. I'm watching episode 13 as I was waiting for you guys. And I'm just like, okay, I got a bone to pick with Noah.
Uh-oh.
snap.
Drop it on
So-
us.
Okay, drop it on
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, so Noah doesn't like Elf, and I'm like, oh, dude, like,
Right?
but I can't sever my friendship with him because he's an awesome dude, right?
Darn close,
I'm
though.
like-
Yeah, he's might be the only person. How could you not appreciate the Christmas movie?
Put him
Elf?
on
right.
a Norway.
Okay. So
America.
there's three against one now on Elf here. So
Yeah.
I will watch it one more time to verify if
Okay.
I do not like the show or if I will change my mind. I will have to
Right.
admit, when it
Okay.
came to Napoleon Dynamite, I had to watch that show like 5 times before I started to like it.
I still don't
Yeah,
like
no,
it.
I can understand that. But call me Elf one more time. Yeah.
Yes.
Great
How can you not think that's
scene.
funny?
That's right.
Yeah, the whole Tyrion discussion was fun.
Yeah, you're an
it was-
angry elf.
You're an angry Elf. Call me Elf one more time. But here's the thing. Like, okay, now I was kept watching. I'm like, okay, Noah he just redeemed himself in my eyes. It's because when you came out with the words, you guys are talking about grilling, and Noah says, "Never rub another man's rhubarb." And I was like, boom, there. Yes, I love it. Because that you guys had a good discussion on that. It was it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah, you see
yeah.
me talk about really important stuff on Scotch Hour.
Yeah, you don't want to eat all the rhubarb; it'll poison you.
No, not. But anyway, I'm just glad I took a shower before the show so I can look my best on this non-visual show here.
You got to start clean, get dirty.
I didn't want to say
That's
anything,
right.
but you are looking great tonight, Ben.
Hey,
Smell wonderful too.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's a new blend. It's a new blend I'm trying to put on the market. So,
What kind of hair gel are you using?
Thanks for putting that in the effort.
yeah, it's called it's called Jameson. No, I'm just kidding.
That's why you smell so great.
So, Ben,
Yeah.
can you tell us a little bit about this bottle that you requested us to
First
try?
call.
Yeah, first call. Yeah, I was just going through some of you guys' episodes, and then I was at Total Wine, and I was about ready to do my normal, getting the Bullet Rye.
Oh, I love Bullet. That's like one of my favorite rye whiskeys.
Yeah, no, it's really great, and it's cheap, right? It's like $35 for the 1.75.
Right.
And so I was about ready to pick it up, and then one of the employees says, "Hey, have you ever tried this one above that?" And first call, and look in the bottle. I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting. Nah, I'm good." She goes, "No, seriously?" She goes, "If you like this, you'll probably like this even better." I'm like, yeah, you're speaking fighting words there, because that's a hard. It's like bullet, right?
Yeah, I do like I do like riding the bullet train. That's what I
Riding
call
the bullet train.
Yeah, when you
That's a good one.
Yeah, when you drink bullet whiskeys, like you get on the bullet train.
Do you ever get off the tracks on that?
Only when the bottle's empty.
When the bottle's empty.
It's a 1.75. This trip is over.
In the bathroom.
Yeah,
The track to the bathroom.
But I got you guys up on the TV. I'm almost like messing myself up because you guys are
this
talking.
is
And we're
trippy.
talking here.
It's like watching What kind of movie would that be like watching?
But you guys look good anyway.
Something that was translated.
I was
don't
gonna
know.
say something maybe like being John Malkovich.
There
Maybe.
you go. All right, we'll go
It's
there.
like picture in picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, picture in picture.
Yeah.
PIP. So
PIP.
she recommended this bottle, and I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And that night, I think I waited a day, and the next day, like, hey, cracked it open and tried it without ice first of all, which I usually don't do. But I said, well, what the heck? And I was just going, wow. I'm like, really? This is the same price as Bullet? I'm like, okay. And I'm on my, I don't know, 4th or 5th bottle now of that.
Cool.
And,
Well, sorry.
every few days I go through one. No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say it's been a week, huh?
Yeah.
So
I just really enjoy it. And I was thinking, well, compared side by side with some of the stuff you guys have already tried, it might be kind of like the redheaded stepchild. But I was thinking it's interesting in its own right. So it's like at least a worthy mention, in my opinion.
No problem. So we have a bottle right here. We are getting ready to pour it into the tasting glasses that we just newly acquired. And
Nice.
so yeah, we'll go ahead and
Right on. I'll join you. I just poured a little bit myself. Got some ice in there.
It has a nice.
Wait to smell from the,
okay.
the smelling glass. You're supposed
Smelling
to put
glass.
it in the
Yeah.
glass
Oh
to
yeah.
smell.
That's the
Do I
glass.
have to break out the directions again?
No, we don't need. I think we know how to use
Oh,
our
man.
noses now.
All right.
I'm telling you right now, the wood, the oak.
If you didn't watch our last episode, we did get these new tasting glasses, and I read the directions on how to smell.
You're supposed to
you smell from the side.
no, just using your nose.
Yeah,
apparently.
using your nose.
That's key. So.
Use both nostrils.
Yeah. Oh wow, Jesse, that was a messy
You
pour.
get a little bit extra in my lap.
So
I'm behind. You guys have 15 episodes. Okay, I just realized I'm behind.
Oh, it's all right. Yeah. So yeah, in episode 15, we talk about like the instruction says, I think it's step number 5 was closed mouth and smell through nose.
Oh wow. Okay.
I was trying to smell through my eyes, but it was really hard.
That's
Almost
the
no
instructions
success.
I get when I'm supposed to clean my cat litter. So it's good to know it's applicable for whiskey.
Swirl vigorously, guys.
Yeah, that's step 1. We gotta swirl vigorously in these glasses. We gotta let the alcohol, like, what did it say?
Oh, I
Evaporate.
see your glasses. Yeah, those are nice.
Evaporate in my stomach.
Who
Yeah,
has
you
that?
can creep you guys out. I'm like stalking you guys, like watching your episodes as I'm talking to you. But
It smells great.
no, those are nice glasses. I like them.
Yeah, they're pretty nice. And this has a really good aroma. You get that nice little rye
This is
smell.
fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Smells good.
Yeah, there's I really like how they put it's like kind of a caramel in there. I don't know if you can kind of taste that with some cinnamon and cardamom maybe on top of it.
Yeah, I do get some like caramel and cinnamon.
All right, cheers, guys.
Cheers. Oh, sorry. I already tasted mine. I don't know about these other two.
Cheers.
I did not wait for them.
It's very smooth.
that's,
Yeah, it is
It's
smooth.
very smooth.
Like honestly,
Not a
I
lot of
didn't-
heat there.
Yeah, for like I think we
Yeah, it's
paid.
not much heat.
I think we paid $18.99 for this. And
Really?
what size is that?
0.75?
No,
750 milliliters? Yeah.
yeah, 750 milliliters. So
Oh, 750. Okay.
yeah, $18.99 is actually a pretty good price point there at
Oh yeah.
at Total Wine.
Wine.
Yeah, and
Especially just try it. Yeah.
for as smooth as it is, like I'm really surprised. Like
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
smooth, not a lot of heat, but then it kind of does like it heats up, it kind of lingers.
makes out like
with
that
some-
cinnamon at the tail.
So
that's
yeah,
what
you
it
guys
is.
notice like on your tongue, it like sizzles kind of. It's just kind of like there's like a tart, tangy thing on the tongue. It just kind of lingers for a second, at the end of it. Or maybe my tongue's messed up. But no, I like it.
No, it definitely has something on the tongue there.
There's some citrus.
And it
I
has
don't
like
know what that is, but it's like that. You can definitely, like when you breathe out, you can kind of sense the there's like a peel in there or something, like a roasted peel. I don't know.
You know, it reminds me of, we had a bottle of scotch that had a similar flavor to this, obviously, being Scotch Hour, but it has that that spicy licorice. They brought that up before.
Yeah.
Which one was the spicy licorice one?
Was that
14?
Craig Ellicky? I think it was.
Craig
I thought you guys,
Craig
I thought you guys said that
Nailed
about the Lavalin. What's that Lavalin? The Game of Thrones.
Lagavulin.
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 No,
Thank
that's
you.
got that. That's the peaty stuff. That's the good stuff.
Okay.
There. Yeah, love that.
Yeah,
peaty
Lagavulin's
stuff.
good.
Lagavulin.
Yeah, that's.
Was that smoky?
No, not very smoky.
A
Just a
little.
hint.
Yes,
Yeah,
just a
a
You'll
touch.
get a hint of smoke.
Is hot.
Okay, so they
Then
did
you-
some.
you'll get it turned. It's more peaty than smoke, which we
Yeah, I have
have.
a bone to pick with that too. Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no,
yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah,
Lay it on
definitely.
us.
Lay it, yeah.
Wait, who's
Well,
going?
I was thinking. I love how you guys threw up the map of Scotland up there. I was like, that's cool. That's awesome. And then I was looking at the island of Islay, right? And I'm a big Scottish guy. I'm a Presbyterian Protestant, right? So I'm about as Scottish as it gets. And so I'm looking at it, and I'm like, Isle of Islay. I'm like, Game of Thrones. I'm like, no, that's supposed to be the Iron Islands, man.
Iron Islands.
I was like, no, this is what's the family Greyjoy?
Yeah, that is Greyjoy. There is actually
Yeah.
a Greyjoy Scotch out there that I think we found a bottle at
We did.
at that place by the bookmakers or bookmarkers or
I think it's called liquor store.
well, it's the liquor store, but it's like,
I mean, I think that's its name. It doesn't really
corner
have like a
liquor
name.
store.
It just says like liquor store on it. So.
oh, okay. But it's next. What was that restaurant?
Oh, the
that's-
restaurant's bookmakers.
Yeah, bookmakers. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there's actually a Greyjoy whiskey.
There is a Greyjoy whiskey.
Is that what you're saying?
No, there's a Scotch because like there was like a series of Game of Thrones scotches that were made. So there's
Right.
there's a Greyjoy one.
Oh, okay. Scotch. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and we found one at this liquor store. I guess it's called liquor store.
It probably has. It probably is named after the shopping center. it's
Not
in
the
or whatever,
family
but-
liquor store or AAA liquors,
family-
but liquor store.
No, but they
That'd
do.
be funny. The
got
family liquor store.
a nice family atmosphere. They know me now. They recognize me.
Do they?
I'm the guy that rides my bike there all the time, and
You're the guy that rides their bike there and
Where
drinks
do you
scotch
go
and
for
stumbles
liquor?
in there.
they
Father and
they
daughter
probably think that I
liquors.
have a DUI and don't have a license to drive. They're
You're one of those
always
guys.
looking at my ankles, and I'm like, no, I'm good. I just prefer to ride
No.
here.
I just
I'm the
took my
same.
bracelet off.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
just take it
I'm
off.
free
Please
now.
don't mind for a little bit.
Why is
So
this
who's
guy
the
always?
bike rider?
That's Brian.
Brian. Okay, that's right.
Yep, yeah, I'm the bike rider.
Brian, also known as Luke Wilson.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I can see it.
The first time I saw you, I'm sorry. I'm like, dude, he looks like Luke Wilson. I'm like, that's kind of cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I can see that. I call him Gandalf the Grey tonight, though.
We should stop charging
yeah.
him as much and
Yeah.
start paying him.
yeah.
With
I'm
what
a celebrity
money?
guest here.
Our business isn't making
celebrity.
any money yet.
Monopoly money.
Luke
Wow.
Yeah, as
Oh,
long as
okay.
you're
American
Gandalf.
money. Just print it. They do.
Owen Wilson's the guy with the one with the jacked up nose, so I'll take Luke Wilson.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
Owen
I
Wilson
just
is.
remember him from all the movies,
Oh, nice.
but
Yeah, Luke
what was
Wilson,
I gonna-
Royal Tenenbaums, tennis player, sexy as hell.
as long
That
as
was
long as you're
Owen.
Gandalf the White, because in this culture,
Luke, the brother.
I thought
tennis
Luke
player.
wasn't Luke in Idiocracy?
Probably.
yes,
He's in
Wait.
Zoolander. No.
That's
Zoolander.
Owen.
Yeah.
Owen is in Zoolander.
Owen, all right.
Owen's in Zoolander, but
Idiocracy?
Luke is Idiocracy.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, him and I almost said Zach Braff, but no, not him. The other guy.
So I remind him of a guy in Idiocracy. That's wonderful. That's great. Thank you, Ben.
But that is the smartest guy in.
Oh, is he the
also
smartest
in
guy in the
Bottle- he's
world?
also in
Luke
Bottle
Wilson,
Rocket.
Royal Tenenbaums, tennis player, brother.
Royal Tenenbaums.
That's Luke Wilson.
All right. That's No, that's
Yeah.
not Luke. That's yeah.
He
That is
said Luke.
Yeah, he said Luke.
Yeah.
Let me see that.
Now we're on movie trivia.
That's like looking in a mirror. Give me a
Yeah,
headband.
dude.
Hey, I thought you were gonna grow your beard the whole summer.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
Wait,
He's supposed to be looking like that.
He
dude
shaves
now.
it right after he cuts his wrist in this one. There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Hey,
So did you
okay,
cut
that's a
your wrist?
better look there.
Is that why you're wearing your watch today? Because you
no,
cut your
no,
wrist?
no.
Dude, I like
I
the
told you I
Falcon.
jacked up my fingers changing the oil. That's what happened.
nice
There's no
looking
wrist
watch.
Oh
cut.
man, that'll do it.
Yeah.
And then you look like Wolverine. You're all bearded and tattered up and all rugged. And you're all
But you heal
hey,
quickly.
bub.
Yeah. The wife was
Yeah, there you go.
she was having none of the beard. It was done.
It was done.
Yeah.
The wife said,
Oh,
No, you know, I've done it.
no.
You saw me last year. It was full beard. It was deep. It was long. And I
don't
was like, you know
remember
what? Dude, I showed you the picture
How
of
long?
it. That's what she
So
said.
are you guys all Colorado natives?
Not really.
Okay.
Jesse is, yes.
I am as well. And then Brian
I
is.
for the most part am. My entire family's from Detroit, and I came out here when I was like 2. So
Okay.
yeah, so pretty
and
much.
Brian and I
almost.
met in first grade.
second grade.
Oh, second grade. Sorry.
Oh wow,
grade,
that's
yeah.
going way back.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, long
It's been
time.
a good long ride.
Bunch of flying tacos.
The stories.
flying talk.
See, that's what you do. That's how you bring up the stories. That's what happens. You come over to a family engagement, and all of a sudden the stories start happening. My sons are like, "Tell us about college.
great golden
Tell us about
color."
college, Noah. What did my dad do again?" Yeah.
That reminds me of the
topic,
PCU movie with Jeremy Piven. And he's like,
Oh,
Oh, I love
he's like
that
in his
movie.
9th year of sophomore year.
Yes.
Mastering
Nice. I
sophomore.
like that. He just quoted PCU.
Yeah,
That
PCU is an
that's
awesome
a
movie.
great movie.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
how they piss
classic.
off like
When they
all the
Spit in
vegetarians
the
and all
frisbee.
that.
Oh, they piss off everybody. It's
Throwing
all
like
about
those, throwing the meat on them and stuff like that.
David
Oh, that's
Spade is
right.
in that.
Is he?
Yeah.
David
Oh,
David
yeah,
Oh
he
wait,
is.
he's like the nerdy, like uptight college Republican type guy. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Good movie.
Yeah.
This whiskey
Old
is
school.
good as it's
Yeah.
kind of got to air a little bit even. I'm
Yeah, it's
really
really
enjoying
good.
this.
Right? It's
Yeah,
kind of light and it has it's got that almost fruity cinnamon light, without the heat. And it's easy to drink a lot, so be careful.
Yeah. Well, you
Yeah.
use it you nailed it with that cinnamon does just stay on your tongue.
And this bottle's nearly
Yeah.
gone.
No, it's
Yeah.
Kind of
Good stuff.
sizzles, or I don't know how to describe it.
No, I mean this will probably take away from it, but it reminds me of like after you've like chewed like big red bubble gum and that taste you have on your tongue, or like
Oh,
try
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Big Red. Good call. Yeah, that's right.
Do
I
they
remember
even make that anymore?
I don't know. That's just
don't
kind of
think so.
that's my go-to cinnamon gum when I name a cinnamon gum. I didn't know it was discontinued. Huh.
Yeah, it takes us back, right? I guess we're all probably in our 40s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We just
so
had that
sad.
conversation, getting too close to 50. I tacked on another year to Noah and I because I forgot my own age.
And Jesse.
And
You
Jesse,
forgot.
yeah.
I mean, my birthday already
You got-
passed.
you
so
added
actually
one.
just nailed it.
Yeah, I did. Oops. That's just because
we could talk. We could talk about like Revenge of the Nerds and Star Wars all day.
absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I forced my.
Speaking
I have
of Revenge of the Nerds, what a fabulous 80s movie!
yes,
Nerds!
Adventures in Babysitting.
nerds,
You
nerds.
know what do you say? Something like,
Fun
what if
house.
CAT really meant DOG?
Dog. Yeah, that was ogre.
That was ogre.
Ogre.
Yeah, speaking of 80s movies, that's one of the things I did. Oh, we're not supposed to talk Father's Day. But I did make my kids watch
Ah.
Beverly Hills Cop. That's a
Oh,
good movie.
righteous.
Yeah.
That is
Awesome.
a great movie.
Banana in the tailpipe, man. How can you fall for that? Banana in the tailpipe.
We're not going to fall for the banana in a tailpipe.
You guys fixate on the strangest things. I'm not thinking about
Yeah.
a banana in any holes. I'm like, that was a sweet red Ferrari.
Sweet red Ferrari. That's right.
I don't even remember that in that movie, but I do remember
The
that.
that.
beginning of the
Red Ferrari.
movie needs to borrow the car from the impound.
No, that might
that?
be. You might be thinking Beverly Hills Cop
That's
2
right.
or something.
Nah, man.
I remember wanting to try that after watching
Dude,
the
I
movies. I'm like,
swear that is. I just
You know?
watched the movie and I wasn't drinking that
I
much.
agree with you, Ben. I wanted to try putting a banana in a
right?
tailpipe seat
And you're
see
like,
if
it
it
doesn't
worked.
fit. I need a bigger banana.
That's what she
I
said.
gotta go back to the store.
That's what she said. Oh, goodness.
Anyway, I was a terrible kid, lighting bottle rockets off of people's houses, and it's shooting BB guns and neighborhoods. It was a
Hey.
crazy time.
Be careful. You don't want to incriminate yourself on YouTube.
We have like
That's right.
16 followers, so be
I don't
careful.
exist.
You never know who those 16 followers might be.
It's way more
Yeah.
than that. The 16 are the ones who are willing to admit it.
BB guns
Yeah.
in the way open field, up in the air, in an authorized area.
So you're saying my backyard.
There
So,
we go. Yeah.
so talking about the 80s and
That was your backyard?
so talking about the 80s, I'm not sure if you caught this, but we might as well just include you since you're on here with us.
Yeah, let's jump right into the.
We're gonna put you on the spot, Ben. We were supposed to, for our Smarter Challenge, we were supposed to pick 1 or 2 songs from each generation that we were alive, or
every
each
decade that we were alive.
So, what would be your favorite 1 or 2 songs from the 70s?
70s?
Yeah. Go set. We'll go 70s.
And if you want us to go first, we can go around and we can revisit it since you've had zero
Puff the
time.
Magic Dragon.
Ooh.
No, I'm joking.
No, I remember
60s.
digging that song as a
Yeah,
kid.
yeah,
That's a
me
good
too.
choice. I was like, yeah.
Are you a pothead fucker?
That's exactly what I was thinking about. I'm glad you mentioned it.
I jumped to the 2000s. Sorry.
Yes, you did.
Okay, so 70s, 2 songs. I'm gonna say, oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna say 2112 by Rush, and oh boy, I'm trying to pick one from The Wall, Pink Floyd.
Ooh.
I'm gonna
Comfortably
let's
Numb.
see.
That's a good one.
Yeah,
Wasn't there
I'm gonna go with
Mother?
Comfortably Numb, just because it was such a big impact on me early on. So yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Nice.
Comfortably Numb and 2112.
Well, let me ask you this, Ben. What age are you? To see if you're like a year ahead of us.
43.
Oh, you're younger than us. Wow.
So I might be a little bit younger. I just turned 43. Yeah.
Okay, we're all going on 47. Did I get it right this time?
Yeah,
I have
1
no
year
idea.
younger.
Hey,
Yeah.
We're not supposed to say what our ages are on here.
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Me and Noah partied it up in our 30s in Salt Lake.
2020.
darn it! Sorry, I blew that for our younger viewers that all thought we were
Yeah.
millennials.
Millennial.
Anyways, since you said Pink
Okay.
Floyd, I'll go ahead and introduce. I only did one song out of the 70s. There's plenty I could have picked from, but it was like 1 or 2 to pick. So I, like you, did go with Pink Floyd, and I went with The Wall Part 1.
Mm.
Is that every brick in the wall or whatever? Just another
Yeah.
brick in the wall.
Just another.
Dun, dun,
Nice.
dun.
Very long song, right?
Yeah, I think it's. I'm not sure what the full.
Is that the same? Is it say their fattened psychopathic wives would thrash them within inches of their lives? Is that the one?
I think so.
Okay.
But so that's mine. You got your 70s, Brian, or just who wants to go next?
Oh, man. The 70s, the 80s in particular, but the 70s were tough. And so I have my 2 and an honorable mention as a 3rd. Sorry, I just couldn't leave one out. For me, 1975, Aerosmith, Sweet Emotion.
Ooh.
To this day,
Sweet
love that song.
There you go.
And with
That's a good
all the
one.
songs I chose.
Have you seen the movie Dazed and Confused?
Yes.
Yeah, man, who hasn't? So we'll continue here because time
Yeah.
flies. We have learned that. So that was my number 1, 75 Aerosmith, Sweet Emotion. Number
good
2
one.
is Rolling Stones, Beast of Burden.
Mm.
And again, all my songs were really picked on an emotional impact they had on me when I first heard them and still to this day when I hear them. And then 3rd, I just couldn't let go of Elvis Presley and A Little Less Conversation.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
That's right.
Wow. Interesting.
That's more. That came up
That's a good
again,
one.
like in newer movies.
Yeah.
It's probably when we saw
Little
those.
Less Conversation.
Little competition. You know, I do karaoke.
Nice Elvis
like
Presley.
Too much. I'm gonna have to do that one.
Yeah, I don't do karaoke, and my kids they tell me their ears are bleeding when I sing, so I always feel bad, but I still have to.
I've been told I'm probably tone deaf when I sing.
All right, Tone Deaf, what do you got for
Yeah.
us?
Well, I'm not going to sing any of these then. Okay, mine actually is also an Aerosmith hit, and it just makes me think back to like growing up. I think my mom must have listened to it. It makes me think about like my family it's Dream On.
Dream on! I love it. I love it.
Dream On.
That's another
Love
good
Dream
one.
On. That's a good
What
one.
a standard, right? Standard anthem for so many things.
Then my other one I chose is it got big again when Fleetwood Mac went back on tour, but it's a Fleetwood Mac song, and it's because I always remember listening to it. And Noah, you might remember this. Remember the big yellow Bronco? that we used to, that my mom and John used to drive.
Yeah.
And every weekend they'd drag me up in the mountains, driving up there. And I used to hate it as a kid. Now, of course, I love it. But they were always blaring Go Your Own Way.
I
by
thought you were going to say
Fleetwood Mac.
Tusk.
Yeah,
I love Tusk. I do love Tusk.
Yeah.
My wife hates that song. She, every time it comes, she's like,
because
this
of what it's about.
is it about something? I
get
apparently
back to
miss
that.
out on a lot of symbolism here because I missed out on the whole symbolism of Dazed and Confused, and now I'm missing out on
Right.
Tusk. But yeah, Go Your Own Way makes me just think
That's
of
awesome.
just with the
That's
top and
Fleetwood, right?
doors off. Yeah, Fleetwood Mac.
I think if I was
Okay.
going to choose a second one, it might be Joker.
Dude, that's right there. Joker by Steve Miller Band.
Steve
But
Miller Band.
I did not choose that because I really didn't get
That's a
into
good
Steve
one.
Miller Band until college.
Okay.
I met their first drummer. I was working at a hotel in Salt Lake, and he came in.
Oh, really?
And
That's
we
kind of cool.
talked for a long time about music, and yeah, he's like, I don't even remember like half the times like you were so wasted.
Yeah, there was a little bit of cocaine
That
involved.
reminds me a little bit of Joe Walsh.
Yeah.
Joe Walsh, right?
Yeah, what was that song about? He drives a Maserati, does 185.
Life's been good to,
To
me
me
so
far. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a great
Good
song
one.
too.
That's good. All right, so 70s, we're done. Moving
Okay.
on to
Darn
the
it.
80s.
To the
Decade.
80s.
The next decade we were alive.
I've been on an 80s kick for the last 2 months. I don't know why. So it's been fun. Just really crazy 80s cult stuff like Love and Rockets and, you know, just all this, Depeche Mode and Simple Minds.
Flash mode, yeah.
All right, okay, so
All that
pick
stuff.
your, go ahead and pick
Okay.
you give us a top 80s song.
Oh, man. Okay. It's going to be a hard one.
You do one or two or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Man, now that I'm thinking about it. Okay. Okay. So the biggest band in my head I can think of my formative years is like my first favorite band as soon as I got over Bryan Adams.
Brian Adams was magic.
I'll tell you why. I had a crush, like 3 crushes, right? And Bryan Adams like made the crushes worse. And I'm like,
Oh.
oh, that's right. That's right. He's telling my story. And then as soon as I grew up and, anyway. So Guns N' Roses is my big band. And I'm trying to think of a favorite 80s song. I can't name
You
it
could
right
go
now.
Patience, November Rain, Welcome to the
Well,
Jungle.
that's in the 90s.
That's the 90s.
Welcome to the
90s,
Jungle.
Yeah.
That's 80s.
80s. There you go.
Yeah.
Paradise City. Paradise City was good.
Take me
I'm gonna-
down.
To the
I was just going
Paradise
to say,
City.
I'm going to have to say, I want to say Rocket Queen because the song just,
Ooh.
it's okay. It's not
Rocket
for the
Queen.
kids. Not for the kids.
I
and
don't
it's
think
got some
most
bad
of Guns N'
stuff
Roses
in it.
stuff is for the kids.
but
the 80s
it
it was.
moves like in a really cool way. But I'm going to say Paradise City because that was like my first like karaoke song I ever sang, and then I kept singing it.
I love
Dang.
it.
So yeah,
All
I'm
right.
going to say that.
Did he just steal yours?
He stole one of, well, not quite one of mine, but he stole one of the bands that I was going to
I
use.
can. That's
Go,
me.
dude,
87.
go. You're next.
That means
So,
you know it's
yeah,
great.
so I'll go, yeah. So one of my 80s is Guns N' Roses' Welcome to the Jungle.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
That is a good one.
You know where
And
you are.
you're in the jungle, baby.
You're gonna die.
I think they would have been a great rock band if Axl would have like kept his crap together.
Well,
Right.
kept his voice when you scream like that for decades on end.
Well, he
you're
would just
gonna
like
lose your
walk.
voice.
He would walk
Yeah.
off of concerts, and he would.
Yeah, he was
He'd
a
never
prima
show up
donna. He was a
sometimes.
prima donna.
exactly.
Yeah, he's a total prima donna. He wouldn't even
So
show up. Like him and Scott Weiland are like the same soul, pretty much.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, speaking of other favorites,
Yeah.
you like them.
So
I love Scott.
Yep, SCP. Yeah, I do. My second 80s, and this song is a big song from the 80s, and I have to just give this guy props, even though he's dead. It's Michael Jackson's Thriller.
The song Thriller.
Good one.
Yeah,
That is a good one because you remember like the
Yeah.
premiere of that video, man.
yeah.
That was the
Exactly.
That was
It
awesome.
was like a movie.
Yes.
It was
Yeah,
like
exactly.
a movie you were waiting for. And then,
Yes.
and then you were like, this is a movie. This is awesome.
It's literally a movie.
Yeah, like you have to Michael Jackson in the 80s, like with Billie Jean and Beat It and all that stuff. Like, he had like a really great.
You know what though? He had it going on, yeah. But like re-listening to them now, I don't think they held the test of time.
Some Some of them did, man. If you still listen to Thriller and the one I might mention in a minute.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I dig it. Don't get me wrong.
but
I
you
was
know,
dancing like Michael Jackson, moonwalk like nobody's business.
One of his
I'm throwing
songs,
that on.
Yeah, you should. I think one of his songs that I think doesn't get enough credit because I think another band did a better job.
Oh,
when they
snap,
covered it,
man. You can't steal it now.
which is Smooth
stealing
Criminal.
Oh, Alien Ant Farm.
Alien Ant Farm.
Alien
They
Ant
covered
Farm,
it,
yeah.
Yeah, I think they did a much better job than Michael Jackson, but it's his song, so I mean you gotta give him credit for that.
I still think he did a great job.
Different instruments and arrangements.
I will give you $5 right now if you can name another Alien Ant Farm song.
I can't.
No, I don't think so. That's good because I don't have $5 on me.
I don't think anyone can do that.
All right,
They're one hit wonder.
Yeah.
So Jesse, what are your 80s?
All right. Well, you just mentioned one of them for me, and I think you almost have to give credit to Michael Jackson for the 80s and Smooth Criminal. Smooth Criminal was mine. Billie Jean was such a close. I was teetering and tottering, but at the end of the day,
I thought for sure it would have been Billie Jean.
it was going to be. But at the end of the day, I really thought about it, and I can remember the entire Smooth Criminal music video, and that's what the 80s was about, music videos. MTV, baby. Number 2, and man, this is another one. When I thought of this one, there were 2 of the artists on my list that I wish I would have seen in concert, and this one is no longer with us. Prince, When the Doves Cry, a song that to this day, like I feel it every time I listen to it.
That's another
That's
great
a good
artist.
one.
Man, undeniable. And then, just as my mentionable third, I had to 1981, Rick Springsteen for Jesse's Girl, which has haunted me throughout life. Springfield.
Now we're into some crazy territory. I like it. And I know the reason I say that because I know there's stories behind every one of these songs.
Yes, Rick Springfield has literally followed me my entire life, including vacations where I'm in San Diego and I go to a bar and it's a cover bar, and I'm like, I'm just here to have a good time and forget about anything that ever bothered me, and I wish I was Jesse's girl. And I'm like, I'm here
to get away from Springfield. And that comes on.
The funny part you missed here, Ben, is that right before we started filming, Brian's like, if you pick Jesse's Girl, I'm going to get up and walk out of the podcast.
He lied. He's still here.
He's got tolerance.
I didn't really pick it. I just had to do an honorable mention.
That's funny.
Well, gentlemen, well done on choosing Prince. He was one of my favorites also.
Yeah.
And I went through, I was like,
powerful.
you know what? And he just got better with age.
He
like
did.
that. See, like Michael Jackson, not as much, but Prince, like, did you guys ever see it was While My Guitar Gently Weeps. It was like a rock and roll Hall of Fame. It was with Tom Petty and on the stage.
Oh, yes.
And he just like blew it away on the guitar and then just threw the guitar in the audience and walked off.
Yep.
That was
And
like,
the way he played.
he was so good. That's the thing.
He didn't just play. He was like creating some kind of movement or artistry, like choreography or something.
Yeah, he was awesome. So I listened to the Purple Rain album on like the record, like the vinyl record I had. And I chose.
You guys are older than me.
Yeah.
It was classic. He bought it.
I had to choose a song that anytime I hear, and you don't hear it too often, because I was like, okay, Purple Rain, When Doves. I chose Darling Nikki.
Oh man, that is such a good song too.
Knew a girl named Nikki, and that's because just as a kid, when you heard that, they're like, "Ooh, masturbating." They said that in the lyrics. I was like, "Wow,
Oh wow."
yeah." It was kind of risque, back in the 80s, back in the day. So that was my first one. I went with Prince, and then this is just the quintessential like 80s tune. And it came from the Breakfast Club.
Oh,
and then you brought it up.
right.
Simple Minds.
Yes.
Don't you forget about me.
That is a phenomenal song.
Forget about me. I hear that. And it's, that just encompasses all the 80s with the geek and the jock and the,
That's a good
right.
I mean,
All
it
those
really,
themes,
Yeah, it's like
romance, unrequited love.
Yeah.
how though I never ever found Molly Ringwald even a little bit attractive.
You're
Me
like my son.
neither.
You don't find any
I'm with
redhead
you.
attractive. It's
No,
either
I
one or
mean,
the other.
no, trust me.
Right.
Aaron
He's
guys
like,
are
she's
Aaron
got
guys are
3
red all the
weeks.
time, and I totally dig it. I love it. But Molly Ringwald just did not do it for me.
I wasn't never really super.
Like,
into
how is
Molly
she the hot?
Ringwald
Like,
either.
she like supposedly played the hot chick love interest, and
Yeah,
I'm
she
like,
did.
Right.
dude, why are you
Who was
going
the
for
other one?
her?
Ali Sheedy?
Yeah.
I thought she was better looking, and she was the weird
Yeah,
one.
I thought
Can't
so.
even
She was the
picture
weird
her.
one. She's like, hey, it's snowing on my
Snowing
paper.
with the dandruff.
Oh my
Nice.
You're like, I can't get all
Okay,
excited
now I
about
picture her.
Daphne from the redheaded Daphne. from
Scooby-Doo?
Scooby-Doo.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
she was
yeah.
a looker. Don't get me wrong. Yeah.
Hey, but kudos to the 80s and all the musicians.
yeah.
Like Foreigner, I want to know what love is.
Foreigner.
Oh my goodness. It was hard to leave that off the list.
There was a
was a
love song in a
hard
movie
ones.
called The Band of the Hand, and I Want to Know What Love Is was the love song in that, and I
Another
totally got
story
it.
with that
So,
one. Yeah.
Band of the Hand is one of my all-time favorite movies. I can't believe you just mentioned
Are you
it.
s-
Most
you're
people
kidding
have
me.
never heard of it. No.
No, it's got
funny.
Leon in it. I think.
My mom spent like $90 25, 35 years ago buying that VHS for me. Oh my goodness. And now I can't even play it because I don't have a VHS
I've got a
player.
VCR. You got to bring it over, and we'll watch it some night.
BCR.
Well, I'll let it go, but if I can find it on
For
any
all
media
you
sort,
kids
man.
out there, you probably don't know what a VCR.
A VCR is like an 8-track only for movies.
Yeah.
And if you
Only-
don't know what
only bigger
VCR
and
is, you
uglier.
don't know what 8-track is
Yeah.
either.
So you guys are buying LPs, records for hundreds of dollars. After that was a cassette. That's the version of movie
Yeah.
we're currently talking about.
That's right. If you're in that era, you're in the right spot. I'm really
Yeah.
shocked. I'm shocked nobody brought up Def Leppard.
We did talk
wait,
about it.
I
You
did
got a little
tell-
pour some
To
sugar
know
on me. That was
and-
later. That
Oh,
was
man.
later 80s.
Gotcha.
kinda 80s.
Or
Gotcha.
even ACDC. No one brought up.
ACDC. I was
Yeah, but
never
they
a fan
were-
of
they were-
ACDC.
They were
But
before. They were, yeah.
I think
but
Thunderstruck
Jim
came out. in the
Brewer-
80s, yeah.
you-
You're right. Yeah.
you guys ever watch Jim Brewer do impressions of like hard rock metal
No.
bands?
He's
Yeah.
The
awesome.
comedian.
No.
Oh, it's great. Go on YouTube later and just put Jim Brewer imitation metal. It's awesome.
That's
So
awesome.
funny.
All right,
All right.
so 90s.
90s. Ben, what do you got? You got anything off
Oh,
the top of
boy.
your head, or you want us to
Okay.
start without you?
I saw the sign. I'm just joking.
Oh, don't. Yeah. Oh, thank goodness.
It was actually a good
Totally
song.
joking.
Noah just pulled
Oh, boy.
my finger away from the hang up button. That was close.
Yeah.
Ace of base.
Okay,
How
I'm gonna
about
do
Barbie?
two.
Hey,
gonna do
Barbie, let's
three.
go to a party.
Is that
Oh my
the
God.
I'm a
Barbie.
Barbie World song?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I'm a
Spice-
Barbie
that's a
girl
Spice
in
Girl.
a Barbie world.
In a Barbie
All right,
world.
hey.
Like, where did that stuff come from? From hell? I mean,
It was hard to
does
find
Satan,
some.
Satan want to torture us more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so 90s. I'm gonna say because I was early 90s, huge. Oh gosh, but Dream Theater is my favorite band. So
What was it?
Dream Theater. I'm
Dream
gonna say
Theater.
90s. I'm gonna say it's an epic, like 23-minute long song. 1995. I'm gonna say A Change of Seasons. It's a prog rock song, prog metal. So I'm gonna say Change of Seasons, and I'm gonna say Estranged from Guns N' Roses' Illusion 2.
Ooh.
Ooh.
And number 3, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Cause I'm dead and bloated. So
Oh,
STP, Dead and Bloated.
Yes.
Nice STP.
Nice.
Good one.
All right. So,
I had to pick something from the core album.
Oh, we got
yeah,
that.
the core album's great. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go off the beaten path here just a little bit. Say that the 90s is actually way to go, knock over the mic, dude.
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
Pour me another.
Like, I'm out.
You're in.
So I would say my favorite, like the 90s is my favorite year, like favorite decade because I love the Seattle grunge.
Nice. Yes.
That's my favorite genre
Yeah.
of music. My favorite
Mhm.
band is STP, Stone Temple Pilots.
Mm.
I think the most influential band was Nirvana, unfortunately.
I think you're right, influentially wise.
Yeah,
No, I
but
get you.
Right.
but
You
the
said
two-
unfortunately, right?
yeah, I did.
Okay, good word. I like that.
I mean, because I would hate. I don't want to give them the credit, but they do get the credit.
They do.
It's kind of like the
Yeah.
Beatles. I don't like the Beatles, but they do get a lot of credit too.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh my goodness.
Oh,
Same page.
We're all on the same page here. Me and Noah.
Yes.
Me and Noah.
All right,
No, I
so
love the Beatles.
so the two songs that I picked for the 90s is Bittersweet Symphony by The Verge
Verve.
Oh, wow.
Verve. Oh, so
Verve.
Verve. Yeah.
Verve, yeah.
And then my actually number one, that's actually number two. My number one is Possum Kingdom by the Toadies.
Ooh.
Okay, I got to look that one up again.
That's the one where he's like, come down to the boathouse and I'll show you my dark secret.
Okay, that sounds kind of scary.
Yeah, I think honestly, like that
shark.
song could have actually gone really well with our vampire episode.
Oh, okay. I'm going to have to check it out.
Yeah.
Kingdom what?
Possum Kingdom.
Possum Kingdom. Gotcha. Okay.
I don't know, for whatever reason, I've always loved that song, and Bittersweet Symphony. Like I always love when that one comes on too.
One of the many great songs about possums, I think, in the history.
I don't even think they mentioned possum in there.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
on my list for tomorrow. I'm going to listen to that.
Nice.
Jesse?
All right.
All right,
All right,
Jesse,
Ben.
90s.
Well, for 90s for me, I just had a little fun with this. I couldn't think of a ton, honestly, compared to the 80s because I was so mentally drained thinking about how many fabulous artists and songs came out of the 80s that in the 90s I went simple. They couldn't be in my top in the 80s, but Guns N' Roses' November Rain 92 was in my top.
Awesome.
And then the second, and this is just because it was such a fun song. And to this day, I laugh at it now when I hear it, but Can't Touch This. MC Hammer.
You can't touch
Can't
it.
touch this. That's right. So that was the other.
How do you not like that song?
Yeah.
Can you do the dance where you go
parachute
back and forth with the parachute pants?
Right.
No, I can't.
I think you just pulled it off in a chair. That was impressive.
Come on. Put on the parachute pants.
I had parachute pants. I loved
Technically, those were not
Not
parachute
Cavariccis.
pants.
them. They weren't fire safe either.
No, those were not parachute pants.
What were they?
Parachute pants were the ones with all the zippers on
Oh,
them
yeah.
that
Like
breakdancers wore.
Cavariccis, I
melted.
think.
No, just parachute pants, like the vinyl. They were vinyl. They were made out of like.
He's talking about what they really were.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those were the parachute pants were the ones that like breakdancers wore with
Yeah,
the
but
zippers on.
that's not what Ben just said. I think he said the name of like the big.
The Z Cavariccis. I remember Z.
That's what he
Yeah,
says.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what he
Yeah,
said.
yeah.
All right,
I
so
just pictured that.
Brian, 90s.
Okay, I'm gonna get grief. It sounds like for both of my choices on this
Doubt
one.
that.
So my first choice was the album that I listened to on repeat like crazy, and I chose my favorite song from it. But it's actually a remake of a David Bowie song. I think it was David Bowie, and it's the Nirvana Unplugged "Man Who Sold the World."
Yeah. The Man Who Sold the World.
Man Who Sold the World. That song
Wow.
by Nirvana. I'd come back from working at Blimpies, pop that sucker in, jump in the shower,
Yeah.
and chill. It was good.
People love playing that song, like in cover bands and karaoke for some reason. I hear it a lot. Yeah.
It's good.
So it's pretty popular.
It's good, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so my next one, get ready to break out the. You know what? I won't get too much grief because Jesse just chose MC Hammer, but I'm going to get a little bit of grief on this one.
Have fun.
This one came out in 1990. I had to make sure it was in the 90s, but I also listened to this entire cassette back in
The Vanilla
it came out-
Ice.
Yes,
Yes!
Vanilla Ice, Ice, baby.
Drop that
To
zero and come hero.
To
I love
this
this.
day,
I love it.
still, because I used to love dancing. I mean, I could like pop and rock with the best of
Ice,
them.
baby.
And I
Too cold,
still,
too
I
cold.
put that video on with the boys when I'm lifting, and I can do all the dance
Heck
steps, man.
I
yeah.
love that's a great song. I love that song.
Thank you. I was like, man, do I even say it? Am I going to get
Did
shunned?
you ever watch the movie with him? He's like, "Hey, drop that zero and come
I
hero."
was riding his motorbike. It was sweet.
No.
Bike too, man. It made me want to get a crotch rocket.
Yeah,
All
he
right.
almost ruined it for all white rappers. Good thing
Yeah.
Eminem came along.
So,
I do have a quiz. Can I throw out a quiz, a trivia quiz, real quick?
sure.
Can somebody here tell me the decade of this song? Rob Bass, It Takes Two.
That's 80s.
Yeah, takes two to get things
Things
go right.
Rob Bass and DJ Easy
Okay.
rock.
It's like
rock.
88, 89.
Maybe even before
I think
that.
it was
I'm like,
89.
Because I remember going to a birthday party
Oh,
and it was
really?
like all
Like,
black women.
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Ben,
know,
we
right?
actually struggled because a lot of the movie songs we thought were early 90s were all 80s. So
Okay, so we're gonna have to do some quick round
good, we're
robins
good.
with the 2000s and 2010s.
All right.
All right, let's do
So
this.
why don't we'll have Ben pick up on the end because he's got to think about it for a little bit.
Okay.
So
Sure.
Noah,
All right. So my 2000s
Yeah.
actually came from a Madden game, which is Born to Win by Papoose.
Born to Win.
Born to Win.
I know what
Huh.
he's talking about, and actually, it's a really good song.
Yeah.
It is a really good
So
song.
like Born This Way or something?
No. It's you'd like it. I mean,
Okay,
I think
cool,
it's a pretty
cool,
good song.
cool.
Okay, Jesse.
All right, really quick. 2000 U2, Beautiful Day. Still, when I
Nice.
listen to that song, it just has an impact on me emotionally. That's what I was really going after with music. And then here's another song
Good one.
I cannot let go of because I think it just is so positive to me. Makes my heart feel good again. Outcast, 2003, Hey Ya.
Hey, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Brian.
Okay, for me, I went 2000s were tough to find.
Right?
Yeah, I was struggling in the 2000s. I went with Cry Me a River by Justin Timberlake.
That is a great song. I love that song.
Yeah, Cry
How
Me a
much have you
River.
had to drink?
A lot. I mean,
Okay, I went from
We didn't
vanilla.
even
Like
talk
I
about
said, I was the
dinner.
guy on the dance floor that actually danced. So I dug this song. I was
He
dancing.
did go from Vanilla Ice to Justin Timberlake,
Come
so
on,
I
man.
guess,
You can't hate on someone
I'm
who's got
guessing the
rhythm.
next one's gonna be like Taylor Swift or something.
No. The next one, and
That's
you guys
too bad.
probably won't recognize the song by the name of it, but if you heard it, you would recognize it. The band is Panic at the Disco.
yes.
And
Yeah.
the song is I Write Sins, Not Tragedies.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
I really do.
Apparently, Jesse really
No,
loves it.
Panic at Disco is great.
as
Oh,
he
that
blows
dude-
out
the-
people's eardrums.
The lead singer of
You got
that
two.
band. Now
make
he's
a
like
thing
the
go
only one
right.
that's left from the band. But the lead singer is like, his voice is legit. He can hit it.
All right, are we gonna do 2010s and then go back?
All
to
right.
You got to get Ben. Ben, you got a
Ben.
Okay,
2000?
real quick. This is going to be a hard one, but I'm going to say the song is Atlanta.
Ooh.
It just has a personal connection for me from STP's fourth album because and it really sounds like a Doors song if you listen to it.
Nice.
Was that with a new
pretty
lead
cool.
singer? Or was
No,
Whelan
that
still
was
around?
Scott Weiland.
Okay,
Yeah.
Wyland, gotcha.
All right, 2010s. I have the script, and the song is Hall of Fame.
I think I own that song. But again, you don't know it by the name of the song, but if you heard the lyrics,
Yeah.
if you heard the song, okay?
Jesse.
The Tens.
All right, so 2010s, I went in a way where these are songs that really made me think. And so one of them, 2017, G-Eazy, No Limit. You may or may not think about it right now, but it was a great song to me. And then 2019, this is my emotional side again, Ed Sheeran, Beautiful People. This song actually made me really think about where I was at in life, what I wanted out of life. It's a song talking about he's in LA and there's all these people with their Lamborghinis and their Hummers, and yeah, he just wants to be real. And I think that, I want the Lamborghinis and the Hummers, but I also want to be real.
So
Okay.
Ed Sheeran was in a really great movie recently, and it had to do with the Beatles called Yesterday.
Yes.
If you guys have not seen
I
that
have
movie,
not seen it, but I've
I
heard
highly
of
suggest
No.
watching
it. All
it.
right.
I can't believe
And I don't like the Beatles, and I love this movie.
I got grief for Cry Me a River, and we're going to let him off the hook with an Ed Sheeran song.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Beautiful People.
Wow. Okay. All right. Moving right along then.
Have another drink.
Ed Sheeran, it was like every other song on the radio for a while. I was so done
was
with
that
Well,
that.
during that time frame, I wasn't really. I was listening to talk radio. So
Lucky you.
I never
Lucky
got to
you.
hear his
All right.
songs.
No, I do have like many of his songs. Anyway. All right. So my 2010s is the first, I think, female on our list. And it is Casey Musgrave, Follow Your Arrow. She's a country singer.
Follow Your Arrow.
Follow Your
I actually
Arrow.
do know what song you're talking about. I
Okay.
don't listen to a ton of country, but I actually know that song. And it's a really good song.
It's
I
twofold.
struggle.
Number one, it's a
I
great
got some
song.
songs to listen to.
Number two, she's hot. I find her very attractive.
I've actually never seen a picture
So he
of her.
follows his arrow to her.
Yes, indeed.
The Mind
All right,
Arrow.
my next song has. I have to tell. I know it's a quick round robin, but I got to tell a quick story. It's "Do Re Mi" by Black Bear, and Black Bear is.
So Black Bear's great. I'm going to throw that out there.
But I got it. Here's why I got to say this is because we took the boys to go see Blink 182
yes.
in concert, and in
Nice.
Fallout. No, it was Fallout Boy. It was Fallout Boy, and when they were younger,
great.
like younger, and Black Bear opened for them. And the boys were like 12 years old, and all his songs are like F this, F that, and like there was like screens in the back of like middle fingers and that. So I got to take my boys to that concert when they were way too young to go see Black Bear with all his cursing.
And
but I do
loved
love
it.
that song.
Yeah, it's a good song.
Do Re Mi, I'm so effing sick of you or something. Good song.
All right.
Good
No,
song.
it's
So
actually a really good
2010s there for you, Ben.
Okay. What's that?
Do you have a 2010?
2010.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm having a hard time with this one, but I'm going to say this is going to be far out of left field. It's a soundtrack song from the James Bond movie Skyfall,
Yes,
and that is called Skyfall from Adele.
it is. It's a great
Nice.
song. Good job, Ben.
Yeah.
Good job. All right,
like that
so we'll go ahead and we're going to do our upcoming weekly challenge for next week. Do you want to stay on the line for this, or for our Smarter Challenge, or do you want us to let you go?
Sure. Yeah, I can stick around. I'm not sure what that is, but I'm game.
Okay, so next week's Smarter Challenge, it is
Write this down.
write this down.
Yeah.
Write this down.
No memory lapse.
Yeah, no memory lapse. It is. We're going to talk about or kind of debate, because there is definitely a debate out there about whether or not fluoride in water is good or bad for you. And so what I want you to
Okay.
and what I
Gotcha.
want you guys to research is about skeletal fluorosis, fluoride in the water, and then calcification of the pineal gland.
The pineal glands.
Yeah, of the pineal gland. It's
Okay.
that little gland in it's like in the middle of your brain.
Yeah.
Supposed to be giant. It is.
I was like, I think some guys would want that
Pretty sure
calcified.
it's stiff. Always.
So Noah, is this like mixing your other podcast with this one? Is that what this is?
Yes, see, I called it. I
No,
told
this is-
you.
You did
No.
call it, Brian.
This is not necessarily mixing my other podcast with this one. Brian did
I'm
ask me
just
if it was political, and I'm like, yeah, I guess you can make it political, but there is but I think there's other things to really look at other than just the political basis of it, because
Gland.
because like if you do drink water, and most of us do drink water,
I'm sticking with Scotch. It turns out that's better for
we
you.
would probably want to make sure if the water we're drinking is good for us,
Yeah.
right? And so I think it's good, because I think it's a healthy debate to see whether or not if fluoride is actually really truly good for you or bad for you,
Mhm.
and why.
So are you ready for 80 pages of research?
Am I? No, I
Dude,
mean
I have so much information on this stuff. It's ridiculous.
I know you do, and I've already done plenty of research on it, but I just wanted to make it just kind of like a really like light debate on whether or not we think it's good or bad for water. Because if you read some things
Cool.
like dentists will say it's good for water, and that's why some cities will put it in, and other cities will say it's bad for you and they won't.
Right.
So that's why I'm tossing this one out here, just so we can have a discussion about whether or not it's good to have fluoride in the water. Nothing about being
Gotcha.
political or anything like that necessarily.
We'll make songs about it.
I could
Yeah.
bring up like if it's okay to drink out of the garden hose,
Sure.
Yeah.
okay? Because I do. Got
Depends.
no issues. Did it
How
as a
come I feel
kid,
dumber after I did that?
doing it like an adult.
So yeah, that's next week's Smarter Challenge for anybody who wants to be out there listening to us. We are going to research fluoride in the water and specifically look at skeletal fluorosis
I'm having to,
and
like, write these down
calcification
so I can
of the
not
pineal
forget
gland.
it.
I think
Yeah.
this is like
Um,
going to be a must-see podcast for our younger viewers, I think.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
won't forget
We
it.
want to bring them along.
What did you say
right?
that you didn't forget? Pineal glands.
I didn't say penis
Yeah.
gland.
So Joseph Mercola's
Right.
YouTube channel and website has like lots of good stuff on that.
Okay.
I'll check it out.
Dr. Mercola.
Yeah, if you email that to me or text it to me, I'll text it to these two guys.
Cool.
All right.
Will do.
So that's pretty much it for our podcast, because we did hit the 1 hour mark now. So we'll just go ahead and do our wrap up. Before we do our wrap up, I just want to say thank you, Ben, for joining us this evening. Thank you for recommending First Call.
Cheers, Ben.
Cheers to you. And hey, guys,
Cheers, Ben.
do you guys have anything you want to say to Ben?
My pleasure.
Ben, thank you
It's
so much
been
for joining
awesome.
the show. Yeah, you were great.
You were our
are
first
great,
ever
not were,
phone-in
are great.
guest.
Yeah, you're our
First?
first guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. the first
Historical
everything.
moment on Scotch Hour.
It
Well
is.
done.
I'm very honored. So thank you guys. You guys are too much fun. Seriously. So
Yeah,
I feel
this
like I
is-
was just like a
this
part
is
of you
what-
guys. I feel like I've known you guys forever, and we're just laughing and having fun. So
If Noah
appreciate it.
doesn't have your address, let us know. We like to do nice things for people who are participants in our show and who, are not necessarily monetary patrons, but just people who participate. So we'll send something your way. We really appreciate you, Ben. Thank you so much.
Cool.
All right,
Well,
cool.
thank you guys,
Thank you.
and I'll hope to see you guys soon.
All right.
Cheers.
All right, cheers,
We need to
Ben.
get
All
you
right,
out here to
cheers.
Colorado. That's what we need to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's on my list. It's on my list, and
Bingo.
hopefully soon.
No,
We're taking this thing on the
road.
road, so we'll just get Ben's address and show up on his doorstep.
What?
It's hard to
Yeah.
find these things in Utah.
You can kidnap me. My cat can live on his own. He can just eat birds.
Nice.
All
All
right.
right, Ben.
All right. Do you have
All
any
right.
last words, Ben, before we let you go?
No, I just had a blast, and hope wish you guys well. Say la vie and Godspeed.
All right. Thank you.
Godspeed, I love
Amen.
that.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Godspeed to you.
Cheers,
Have a
man.
great night.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. So that was our first guest. That was pretty awesome. And I think that was great.
Ben
That
was fantastic, Ben. Thank you so much.
I think Ben fits right in.
Yeah, I
that
think-
was
yeah.
easy. That was easy. You
Yeah,
know, and you
it's-
just
it's-
kind of just bouncing off each other, talking about different things.
exactly. And we
Right in.
kind of figured that Smarter Challenge would last like all podcasts.
And we knew it
did.
would.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
that
and
was a
would've
good
gone
smarter
longer.
challenge.
Yeah,
I
it
wonder
was
who
a
came
great-
up with that.
Yeah, Brian, great Smarter
Brian,
Challenge.
Not to toot my own horn.
Flipping mathematical genius.
Show.
We've got this amazing challenge. A little bit of research.
A little bit of research, and then we'll just debate about it. I don't know if it could take a whole podcast, but
It's
it
going to
just
be
depends.
complex because I studied chemistry, physics, and engineering in general. Yeah, get ready.
So-
I can tell you right
I don't
now,
know how complex it'll be because I've never even thought
you need some
twice about
fluoride.
it. So I'll figure it out.
so we got what kind of chemical engineer,
You're going to say a metallurgist.
metallurgist, a mathematician, and a tinfoil hat wearing fool.
Bro,
Yay.
you're total business, and you should be selling fluoride.
Maybe not after we do
Yeah.
the research. We'll have to
Yeah.
see.
All right, so
My dentist speaks very
who wants
highly of
to close up? Start the close. Do we normally start with you on the close?
I
or
think
do-
normally we do. I think we go in like a middle, early end range. And what I want to say is, first of all, Ben, thank you, Ben, so much for being part of the show, for recommending a whiskey. It was actually tough for me. I'm not going to derail that truth in saying it wasn't a Scotch, but I talked with Noah in actually depth. It was hard. I'm not kidding. It was hard for me because it wasn't from Scotland. It really was. And
he didn't want to do it.
I didn't want to do it, but
I got
I'm
that sense a
super
little bit.
glad we did, and you were amazing. I actually am super excited to get you on this show. We've got another camera on the way, and we can arrange this so that we can all be in view at all times and make this great. And man, your knowledge with music, you were put on the spot. Great job. Thank you for the whiskey. I need to wrap up because I'll talk forever if I don't. Thank you for your suggestion with the whiskey. I love, for me, it's the wood. It's the oak barrel flavor that I get right at the start, and the middle and end don't disappoint. I appreciate that. Thank you. And man, Noah, Brian, you guys are great. This challenge was fantastic.
It was a
made
lot of
me-
fun.
I'm not
It
one
was.
to, boast, but
I love to
Yeah.
do this research, whether it's a book or a movie. And Noah, you've brought some great books into the mix. This was a real challenge because I was surprised when I started looking into it, how many of my favorite songs that I thought were from the 90s or the 70s were from the 80s, and it made it fun. Brian, thank you so much.
You're
and
welcome.
with that, this is not the Father's Day episode, but Father's Day episode. But Brian, glad you had a great Father's
hey,
Day.
yeah, happy
Thank you.
Father's Day, Jesse.
All
Happy
right.
post. For me, I guess I will say also thank you to Ben. I think this is a precursor of more phone-in sessions to come, either with Ben. He was awesome, or other people might be willing to give it a shot. And I also want to thank Ben because while you guys turned me on to this rather expensive habit of Scotch, this what is it? First call. First call
we're not
is
talking about
an
Scotch.
affordable habit that I can partake in. So thank you, Ben, for twofold being our first phone-in guest and for this great whiskey, affordable whiskey suggestion. And thank you to Jesse, as always. Thank you to Noah. Would not even be here at all had it not been for you guys and Noah, your vision to give this a shot. So it's always a great time to hang out with friends and just blab about stuff that we're into.
I agree. So once again, it's already been said multiple times. Thank you, Ben, for joining us. Thank you for the recommendation. You are the first person that actually recommended something for us to try, and we wanted to hold true to our word and have the whoever recommends something to us come on to our podcast and join us. I know originally we stated it would just be for the tasting part of it. But I knew that I knew how much you love music, and so that's why I invited you to stay on a little bit longer. And I think
perfect.
Yeah, worked.
And I think it turned out great. You just fell right into place with us, and that's how we hope all of our listeners or anybody who watches us or listens to us feels that they're just like a part of us. We're just like a bunch of friends hanging out together, conversing. And even though you might not be here talking with us, that you feel like you were actually part of the conversation. And we really, we all really appreciate everyone who listens to us, everyone who watches us. We are all very grateful for that. And as we close up this evening's episode, I just want to say that if you're not a patron, please become a patron. We have membership starting as low as $1, going up. Each level has its own special perks to it. They are going to be tweaked here because there's a couple of the levels that we haven't really quite finished ironing out the details on.
Talking about mad benefits.
And mad benefits. But we'll find out. And honestly, that all that money goes to is for us to help get better equipment, to rent out movie theaters so we can watch movies with our local listeners and viewers. And then also when we do finally start taking this out on the road, because we do have cameras now, we do have the wireless mic, so we will eventually start taking this out on the road. And when we start doing that, we want you guys to be involved with that as well. If we go someplace, we want you to come along with us. And this will, and any money that we get from our patrons, that's all that's being used for. So it's to be put back into our podcast and to be put out there for you guys as well to help you guys. So with that, I just want to say thank you one more time. We are on YouTube and Rumble as far as video wise goes, and on audio where we are on Google Podcast. We are on Podbean. We're on Amazon Music. We are on Audible podcast as well. iTunes internationally. I still haven't gotten that figured out yet. Don't know when that will be figured out.
You haven't paid America enough.
Got to find out who that is.
Yeah, I don't know what that has to do with anything. But anyways, with that, that's all we have. I just want to say cheers and have a great night. Here we go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We hope you enjoyed this evening's episode of Scotch Hour. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you have not done so already, please become a patron member, with memberships starting as low as $1 a month. Thank you, and hopefully you have a wonderful evening.